Now, we are a consumer programme, so the decline of the high street is bang on territory for us, and we have lost count of the times that we have asked to interview Mary Portas, the woman that the government wanted to come to the rescue. But she is talking to us today ahead of a series of programmes on Channel 4 about the areas that won £100,000 each of government funding as Portas pilot areas. Mary Portas, welcome to you and yours.
Hello.
Hello. Now, you've taken a lot of criticism about your efforts to help failing high streets, and I wondered, was that why you weren't doing many interviews?
Yeah, to be quite honest, I thought it was better to just keep quiet until I really kind of saw some results. And yes, really, and in fact, I just had enough. It's just constant, and you thought, actually, what am I doing wrong? Actually, what I'm doing is right. And once I got my energy back up, I thought, here we go, ready to go back out.
Now, the suggestion has been, and I'm quoting here from an article from the Daily Mail online, that all you have to offer here is celebrity pixie dust.
Well, thanks for that, guys. Well, that's the Daily Mail online, isn't it? I mean, what can you say? Celebrity pixie dust. Well, I'd like to think I've got 30 years of working in the retail industry, working with massive commercial businesses globally, internationally. This is my life, this is what I do, and so for me coming and trying to look at what some of the solutions for the high street were felt like a right result. I will say, however, that a bit of celebrity pixie dust ain't a bad thing, because what this has done through me doing this report has put it onto the public agenda, given civic pride across this country, and actually made people aware of what's happening. And if that's pixie dust, then okay, I'm up for that.
Tell us about the good things that you believe you've achieved.
Well, we've got over 400 towns who have set up town teams and are doing their own thing. I mean, I've been travelling the country. For example, one of the towns, Market Raising, where there didn't used to be a market, they now have a thriving market with 5,000 people a week coming into their town. They've opened up a community shop. We've got different towns. Bedminster, I went to the other day. They've opened up creches on the high street, just through some of the ideas that I put into my report. Not only creches, but where they're recycling kids' clothes. We've got one of the towns, Braintree, where the local council are realising that parking was a real issue, did park for 10p after 3, and he's got 50,000 new cars coming in, not new cars, 50,000 cars that weren't coming in before coming in over the year. There's been so many things that have happened organically and that people are doing on their own, but because they've realised how important the role of the high street is, how essential it is to communities, and it's been heartwarming to see so much going on.
Forgive me, can we talk then about some of the criticisms?
Sure, of course.
Paul Turner-Mitchell is somebody who's put in public information, freedom of information requests about how much of the money has been spent. And what he says to us is that he's not against you. He just thinks that because the money that was given to these towns, a lot of money, is administered through local authorities, that you've just got the dead hand of bureaucracy on it.
Well, there's an element of that wherever that happens. And to be truthful, I'm going to be careful how I think and respond to this. There is some bureaucracy around it, but there's an awful lot that isn't. One of the criticisms that came out of this freedom of information they pulled in, they suddenly said, oh my gosh, these towns haven't spent all their money, quelle horreur. I thought, what would be the blimmin' headline if they had overspent their money? The reason why so many of these towns haven't spent their money is so many people are giving their time for free, and they're really thinking about what they do with that money and trying to do their best. I was in Dartford, which came up for criticism because of the freedom of information that Paul Turner called in. I was in there the other day and they got accused of spending £1,700 on a Peppa Pig. The guy there told me that the efforts they've put in, that might be £1,700 they've spent on that, but they've brought in £400,000 worth of support for nothing from local businesses and big businesses on the back of the Portas pilot. So there's a balance wherever you look. The truth of the matter is, every little bit that people are doing helps. The government money, the 100 grand per town, is that enough? No, it's not enough. But what it's done is kick-started people getting on board to make change, and that's a good thing. And I actually think that Paul Turner-Mitchell and all the other people should stop making this political. This is a social issue. I'd have done this for the Conservatives, the UKIPs, the Labours, whoever. This is something I believe in, and unless we get together on recreating our high streets, we have a big social problem across this country.
The government accepted a lot of your recommendations, but some people would say not the really important ones. So the ones about reducing parking charges on local high streets, the ones about restricting out-of-town developments.
I agree. I agree. I'm still waiting for that. I want all of those recommendations to be put through. And I agree on the out-of-town developments. I've been going across the country. For example, I was in Sherburn the other week. One of the big supermarkets, Tesco's, is looking to build a mile outside Sherburn. 90% of the people there are saying, we don't want it. We don't want it. We have a thriving high street. We believe you'll displace what we have. Now, there is absolutely nothing that they can do to stop Tesco's if they decide to come in, because there's no impact testing and there's no, what I called, particular sign-off by the Secretary of State to stop that happening. So I will continue to fight for that, and I will be the pixie dust face that puts her head above the parapet and gets slapped each time for doing it.
Eric Pickles talking to you yet?
No, not yet. You could get him in. I'll come in again if you want to get the two of us together.
We'll try and get you both on. Okay, lovely. Mary Portas, thank you.
Thank you.